Greetings, Patreon tribe. Back with another Patreon exclusive, and today I'm going to be giving you a look at my 1/6 scale collection. This is something that later on the YouTube channel, publicly, I'll be doing a much more in-depth review on. Probably split it up into several different parts for every single different cabinet here. But today I'm just going to freestyle it. I'm going to go handheld. Really enjoying these Patreon exclusives because I can just kind of go with it, go with the flow a little bit more. Don't have to worry so much about all of the editing and sound editing. It's just more free-flowing. So let's take a look at the 1/6 scale collection. So this collection is made up of 6 Detolf shelves from IKEA. Very affordable, look very nice. Great for displaying higher-end collectibles that you might be a little bit more worried about getting dusty. The 80s Toy Museum, I'm not really concerned about the dust. It's a low dust room, but some of these things are extremely expensive. Some of them are hot toys, and so I try to do my best to keep them as dust free as possible because while I am enjoying them, I'm only borrowing them. I'm most likely going to sell these down the road, and I'd like them to retain the value as much as possible. Let's take a look at the first shelf here. I'll give you a look at the top first. There was some extra space on top, so I just threw some of the extras here. Not all of these are 1/6 scale. We got a little Palpatine here, hologram Palpatine. Needs straightening out. This is a sideshow Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader at this point, Anakin Skywalker, battling out on Mustafar with some of this cool flame effect in behind. There's Eric Draven in behind. He's right at home with the fire. That's kind of cool. That flame effect right there sort of looks like a crow or a bird. And he's got the flaming crow in behind him from the Nika set. Like I said, it's a mishmash of stuff here. This is Casey Jones' mask, one of my favorite characters from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. There's this atrocity, Masterpiece Megatron, but I don't have the heart to put him away, so I figured I'd just tuck him in behind there. That's Marvel Studios Punisher. I just love holograms when they're lit up, so putting these in front of the lights in behind really makes them look cool. That's another hologram Emperor to kind of go with this prequel hologram Emperor. Pacific Rim, love this movie. This is a giant Jaeger Gypsy Danger. And we've got some 6th scale Metal Gear Solid Liquid Snake, and that's a custom Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 2 that I put together. A couple of Nika figures here. You got Hicks and Sarah Connor. This is the first thing my wife ever bought me when we were dating. First gift she ever gave me. It's the McFarlane Ashley J. Williams. And that's how I knew I was in love. We got some, this is an Alien Queen, I think it's McFarlane. This is a Japanese power loader. I forget what the company was called. But it's metal. It's got metal parts in it. Some of them anyway. And it's heavy. Lots of wiring in the back. Couple aliens in the back there. This is just a glass box that I made for this particular piece because I didn't want the bike getting dusty. It's Indiana Jones and his dear old dad with another Indy in the back. I'm a huge Indy fan, so even though his costume doesn't change much, I do like the little subtle differences. So this Indy has his tie, the one in the back, no tie, missing the bag, basically from the end of Last Crusade. Got the Avengers up here, Marvel Select Avengers. Oh, there's another Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater custom figure that I put together of Big Boss. And it looks like Black Widow has fallen over. There we go. Little lightning effect there on the God of Thunder. There's a Han and Carbonite, courtesy of ThinkGeek. It was a free gift with one of my orders. This is a Brave Star animation cell. I'm going to be doing a whole video on all of my Brave Star animation cells that I picked up a few years ago when all of those Filmation archives went on sale. That's beautiful. A couple more figures over here. We've got droids, speeder bike from Endor, Gandalf the White on Shadowfax. That's not an official Shadowfax, that was just a white horse I picked up. From eBay, a couple of comic heroes, Spidey, Love Cable, 90s Cable, Reboot, another one of my favorite shows, and a hologram Obi-Wan, constantly having to correct these holograms. And that is it's not an official Hot Toys Hulk, it's a knockoff at a fraction of the price, so it does the trick for me. It looks fantastic and I don't futz with it much. Plus it's not rubber like the Hot Toys one, so won't be splitting like the much more expensive version. And King Leonidas, Nika 12-inch Leonidas. So that's the top shelf. I'm going to be taking a look at, let's go cabinet by cabinet. I'll open this up so we get a little less glare here. This top shelf is my Anakin Skywalker shelf. So there's Anakin from the Clone Wars, a little Obi-Wan hologram. And then there's Anakin from the end of the end of the Clone Wars cartoon in his costume that was more similar to the movie. And then in the middle here is Revenge of the Sith Anakin. Always loved that pose, foreshadowing the coming of Darth Vader with the blue and red lightsaber. In behind is unmasked Anakin Skywalker, or redeemed Anakin as they call him, and the spirit of Anakin Skywalker. My Anakin ghost is Sebastian Shaw, always will be. And a little Yoda ghost to go with him. Would be nice to do some sort of effect to make them look ghostly, like glitter or something, but I'll just leave it as they are for now. And a little Vader mask that came with a sideshow Darth Vader. Nicely complements that Anakin Skywalker. Each shelf here has a little light shining down onto the shelf underneath it. So the next shelf is the Obi-Wan shelf. We've got Kenobi, Old Ben, playing or looking at the alien, looking at the Leia, sorry, hologram. And there's General Kenobi getting a transmission from Yoda. General Kenobi in the back in his clone armor, Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan, and I just love this pose. Kenobi making peace with the Force, joining the Force a moment before Darth Vader. This guy strikes him down. This is the Darth Vader shelf. There's a clone in the middle, getting a transmission from the Emperor, and young Darth Vader, scorched, extra crispy. There is Anakin right after the turn, the attack on the Jedi Temple, and beautiful Darth Vader from Sideshow. And in behind, Sideshow's first Vader. Not quite as beautiful, but still nice. Very, very big. Bottom shelf is Palpatine, that stinker, with another clone in the middle. And we've got Palpatine getting ready to throw some lightning, and Senator or Chancellor Palpatine. That's a cool lightning effect. It's actually customized from one of the Star Wars Unleashed figures, I think they were called. And then just another, since the Sideshow Emperor came with two heads, I just customized a second one using the outfit from the cheap Hasbro one. And shelf number 2, various movies here. Top one is the RoboCop shelf. I did do a review on this guy right here with his chair. Beautiful, one of my favorite pieces in the whole collection. Looks more like a maquette than a action figure. There's Alex Murphy in behind, spinning his gun. And Robo, or once again Murphy from the end of the movie. Looking a little worse for the wear. One shelf down is the Tron shelf. This shelf is on like Tron. Love me some Tron. We got Clue, and behind is Sam in the Tron outfit. The customized Sam I put together using the head from the Light Cycle, which I did a video on a while ago. There's the old man, Kevin Flynn, knocking on the sky and removing himself from the equation, sitting patiently and waiting. And one shelf down, Future, A Better Tomorrow. What do we call this? Future Hellhole, something like that. We've got Mad Max from the Apocalypse. That's the Fury Road version. Mad Racer, I think, was the knockoff name for it. Really nice. Snake Plissken from Another Crappy Future with the cassette tape that always cracks me up. There's a T-1000 in behind there. Hot Toys set. Beautiful Hot Toys Terminator. Really, really amazing. The light coming down from below really catches the sculpt in all of these beautiful pieces. And a couple of Dredd figures. I love Dredd, one of my favorite recent movies. Judge Dredd and Officer Anderson. And the bottom shelf here is the Aragorn shelf, featuring Gandalf in the middle, Gandalf the Grey this time by Sideshow. We've got Strider. Most of these are the Sideshow Aragorns. Strider in behind, and then Aragorn in his Helm's Deep getup. Right here is Art Figures, I think they're called. Not an officially licensed figure, but it's Aragorn in his outfit from the end of Return of the King. The battle on Mordor. And then King Elisar in the back here. These guys have letter openers. These are metal, sharp metal letter openers, which look much nicer than the plastic swords that the figures came with. That's cabinet 2. Cabinet 3. X-Men. So we've got the Laser Eye, another unlicensed figure, but looks fantastic. Cyclops, Wolverine. I love Wolverine, one of my favorite comic characters. I thought Hugh Jackman was incredible. I put Hugh right up there with Christopher Reeve for just owning a character, bringing it to life. There's Canadian Wolverine, smoking on a stogie. Don't smoke, kids. Wolverine only does it because he's got the super healing factor. And another Canadian Wolverine. And this guy's awesome. Colossus. Gigantic. Beautiful. The Dark Knight by Hot Toys. There's a custom pieced together Bruce Wayne. And the Joker, Heath Ledger. And there's a Harvey Dent in behind. And there's this great armory by Hot Toys. Got this little controller which should make it light up. Well, the batteries seem to go on this very quickly, so it's not working at the moment. But it comes with all sorts of incredible, tiny, detailed weapons. You can see in behind the suit there. All sorts of weapons, gadgets, explosives. There's the Bat backpack. And I had the Batman displayed for a while with the face, the Christian Bale face in there, but I just like how he looks in the armory, just waiting to be donned. One shelf down. I guess this is my black trench coat shelf. I try to do things with themes, characters that seem to go together. So these guys are all wearing black trench coats. There's Snake Plissken from Custom Snake Plissken from Escape from New York. Custom head. I think that was a Vader bodysuit from Sideshow that I used because it looks very similar to his outfit. Eric Draven, the Crow. There's Blade. And the Punisher, kind of like how the Punisher's shirt, the White Skull shirt, goes with the white face of the Crow. Just a little bit of unity going on there, and he's got a little bit of Howard Saint's money. I love the new Netflix Punisher, but Thomas Jane was the first Punisher that I thought really came close to what he was supposed to be in live action form. And an upside down Neo. Custom made, or custom put together, custom head and outfit. I find it's a lot cheaper to put some of these guys together than to buy the official versions. And then in the bottom shelf here we've got another Frank Castle. This one is using the body, well, the head of Marvel Studios, I think they were called. This one's actually from Dirty Laundry, that unofficial short where Frank uses a bottle of Jack Daniels to dispense some justice or punishment, depending on your perspective. And he's got some dirty laundry there. And there's another Frank with a bow and arrow. And in behind we've got Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid 1, another Blade, this time in his short jacket with his guns, and Old Snake, Metal Gear Solid 4. And Eric Draven in the middle here, pulling the weather vane out with the lightning striking. One of the coolest moments from that movie. Beautiful movie. Looking forward to talking about it one day, but it's not something that I can review like a movie. It's such a powerful tribute to Brandon Lee, and his fate is so intertwined with it that I think it's something that needs to be treated with a lot more reverence than just saying, you know, it's a cool movie and this is cool merch. The Brandon Lee stuff is, you know, it means a little bit more to me than just being a cool toy, because I think he was just such an incredible human being. On to the next shelf, next cabinet here. Quite a bit of this one is, half of this one is Indiana Jones. So the first shelf here is figures from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indy in his various outfits. You think we should open it? Might risk it. What's in the Ark? Just sand. Nothing in there. But beautiful piece. That's a Hasbro mail away. Ark of the Covenant, and there's Indy in his map room outfit with his little headpiece on the top. And Indiana Jones with his leather jacket, gun drawn. Indy from the end of the movie, threatening to blow up the Ark. And there's the idol. And Indy from the Cairo scene. He's got the monkey, sans jacket. And one shelf down is the rest of Indiana Jones. There's the Temple of Doom, Indy by Sideshow. Always loved that look. The one sleeve torn off. That's what I love about Indiana Jones. He takes a licking and it keeps on ticking. There's from the beginning of Temple of Doom, in the tuxedo with the diamond. And in the middle is Old Indy from Crystal Skull. Not my favorite movie, but I had a space, I filled it. And there's Indy from Last Crusade. He's got the Grail Diary. He's got the machine gun that he used to gun down a couple Nazis. And the tie. And in behind, another outfit from Last Crusade. Searching the catacombs, the sewers, with his torch. This time just in a suit. And we move one down. And I'm trying to remember what was the theme here. Brown coats, maybe? Or trench coats. Non-black trench coats. We've got Kyle Reese with a shotgun. This was a custom piece from eBay. I think he makes a few of them. I think from time to time 5 or 10 of them pop up. So it's not mass produced like the art figures or companies like that. but he does a really nice job. It's a really nice likeness of Michael Biehn, and all the outfit too was customized as well. So he's got the filthy bum pants. He's got the Nike Velcro grip shoes. Got the dirty. I'll give you a look at it there. The dirty bum shirt. Looking good. There's a very old Sideshow Connor McLeod, another one of my favorite 80s movies from Highlander. It's a custom Big Boss that I put together from Metal Gear Solid 4, I guess. He appears at the end of that one. He's got his cigar using a Liquid Snake jacket. And that is a Sean Connery head, because they do look a lot alike. I did a video on this guy a couple years ago. Oh, Captain, my Captain. It is Captain Malcolm Reynolds from the Serenity. Really nice piece. And he came with an extra head, so I tried to put together a war version of Captain Mal. He's got the cross around his neck before he lost faith. And then the bottom one in this cabinet is the war shelf, I guess. There's a whole bunch of Sergeant Rock, G.I. Joe figures in behind. Sergeant Rock and Easy Company. There's a lot of people smoking here, even though I've never smoked. I guess it's just, it's a cool visual, but I am very aware that it's extremely bad for you, so don't do it. The front two figures are ones I just recently put together. They're from a project that I did years ago called the Revolver 4, which was my love letter to fans of the A-Team and Magnum P.I. and those great shows from the 80s, the Stephen J. Cannell or Airwolf, stuff like that. So this is the prequel version of my character. So I've got my own action figure. Smoking again, but interesting little bit of trivia. Although I smoked quite a few cigars filming this project, I never once inhaled. And that's the truth. But it still stunk like hell. I could smell it in my nostrils for weeks afterwards, and I would not do that again. Or if I did, I would try to hold that cigar as little as possible. That's a custom 1/6 scale Schofield that I used in the project. And then over here is the older version of that character. Rocking the gray temples. Yep, that is a Qui-Gon Jinn, which was the closest that I could find 6 scale figure that resembled my character in the show. That's the way I did my hair in the show, and eye patch. It was pretty fun putting that together, hunting down all the little individual things from the costume that I made in real life and putting it together. There's another Schofield. So it's, being such a huge fan of action figures, it's pretty neat having an action figure of my own. And second last cabinet, another Wolverine shelf. I told you I was a big fan of them. There's a couple of Hot Toys Wolverines in the front from the Wolverine in his black outfit from the funeral scene. And then another one. It's not quite the right jacket, but it does the trick. Alternate outfit from that movie. In the middle here, we've got from the beginning of the Wolverine when he gets the sword. He's not holding it two-handed. It's not the proper way. Muscular body Wolverine, topless from Days of Future Past. Get this to focus. A little bit of motivation there whenever I get into the gym. And then X-Men Origins Wolverine. And then my end to the Wolverine cinematic saga. If you like Logan, that's great. That's just a what-if story for me. The way my Wolverine story ended in the movies is the end of Days of Future Past, so I wanted to have a little piece of that movie. I thought it was a beautiful way to sign off and that character Everything he lost, he got back. Cops. These are lawmen. This is Chow Yun-fat from The Corruptor. Detective Nick Chen. Kind of a forgotten movie, but I just love Chow Yun-fat. And it's not that that's one of my favorite movies ever, but it's one of Chow's coolest performances, I would say. Especially North American movies. Got some Clint in the back here. Dirty Harry. Got the Magnum. This is a custom pieced together Dirty Harry. Not the right style of Magnum, but I actually prefer the silver one. So that's one of the things that isn't accurate, but I like it better. That might drive some people crazy that it's not the right thing, but I go by feel, and when I see him holding a big silver revolver, I like it better than when he's holding a black one. So, do your own thing. This is a custom pieced together John McClane. Smoking again. With the radio and the Now I Have a Machine Gun. And of course he's barefoot. Love Die Hard. I think I watch it almost every year. And then there is Rick Deckard. I had an extra head from an old indie Medicom figure. It's just been sitting in a box for years. So I grabbed a pistol from one of my Cops figures, Hasbro Cops. These are all just extra leftover clothes, and I pieced together Rick Deckard from Blade Runner 2049. So that's the Police. Comic book or cartoon heroes is next. There's Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe Retaliation. It's an okay movie. It's not that I'm crazy about the Snake Eyes design from the movie, but I do love Snake Eyes, and I didn't really like the Sideshow one based on the figure, so I went with this one. But this is the Sideshow Timber. And behind, my Superman, Christopher Reeve. This is a Wolverine I just recently picked up, which I'll be doing a review for soon. He's not a 6th scale figure, but I think you have to do a Wolverine like this, like basically a big Marvel Legends, to get the proportions right. Otherwise, he just doesn't have the posability, or he's too bulky. There's a Medicom Spider-Man in behind. And Mattel's 12-inch or 6th scale She-Ra, Princess of Power. Really nice figure. And in the bottom, who are you going to call? Mattel's Ghostbusters. We've got Dr. Spengler, Dr. Stantz, disgusting blob in behind here, Slimer, Dr. Venkman, and Mr. Zedmore. With a trap with some electricity effect. I think this is from a Hot Toys Electro. And Ecto. Surprised that battery still works. It's been years. And that'll shut off in a second. And the final cabinet, which opens from this side, is the Star Wars cabinet, original trilogy. So the top shelf is A New Hope. There is a custom pieced together Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper outfit. It's an R2-D2. Can't remember how you turn him on. It's like that. Maybe he's got a switch somewhere. Or the battery might be dead, or maybe I took the battery out. I can't remember. X-Wing pilot Luke. Luke and Leia. Mark and Carrie. Sideshow Obi-Wan Kenobi. Basically just filling up the space in behind. And C-3PO. Hasbro C-3PO. Kind of a messy desert gunky version. One down, we move on to Empire Strikes Back. Hello, what have we here? It is Billy D. Williams. Lando Calrissian. There's Boba Fett in behind. We've got Luke Dagobah outfit with Yoda dispensing Jedi wisdom. Hoth Luke in behind. And Bespin dual Luke Skywalker. This is like a cheap knockoff of the Hot Toys head, since the Hot Toys one was a little out of my price range. Oh, and that's a prequel Yoda, but I guess I put him there just to kind of give you a before and after with the Empire Yoda. One down is the Return of the Jedi shelf. Love how that lightsaber, green lightsaber, looks in the light. Really, more than any of the other ones, it really pops. This is Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. And then another Luke in behind there from when he was on the sail barge. Leia in her Bouche bounty hunter disguise with Han and Carbonite in behind. Let me see if I can get that button. Always a risk of knocking something over, but that Han lights up. So it's the scene in Return of the Jedi when Leia releases him from the Carbonite. And there's an Endor Luke. And then a Death Star dual Luke. That's a Metacom version. They're not as nicely sculpted as the Hot Toys stuff, but I do like the toyish look to them. I like the fact that it basically looks like a giant Kenner figure. So, works for me. And then the final shelf is the Han Solo shelf. We've got Han from A New Hope, and another New Hope Han in his Stormtrooper costume. There's a company recently on eBay that started doing Stormtroopers for very cheap, fraction of what Hot Toys or Sideshow was charging. So I got one of those cheap Han heads, popped it on a cheap Stormtrooper body. Looks great. Another Han and Carbonite in behind there, different version of it. Big Hasbro Chewbacca. Bespin Han Solo with a giant head. Might have been the biggest head Sideshow ever created. Just giant bobblehead type of thing. And Endor Han Solo with a Ford finger. I actually had to track down a hand that was pointing, so at least one of my Harrison Ford figures could be given the Ford finger. So that is my 1/6 scale collection. I'll be doing a video on that. Somebody just fell. He's a ghost, so he should be fine. But I'll be doing a more in-depth video on this collection once the virtual tour series of the 80s Toy Museum is finished. So that'll be I guess a 7-parter. That's months down the road. So until then, all of you Patreon supporters get this advanced tour of the Michael Mercy 1/6 scale collection. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, Nerdmas Day.